my name is Bhumika, and this lesson is going to be about functions of lipids and carbohydrates. Now, this is going to be my first fully PowerPoint tutorial. I have been having problems with uploading PPTX files because I make them on iOS and they generally don't seem to work on my Android phone. So I think I'm going to fix that pretty soon, and yeah, let's get right into this. We're going to begin with functions of lipids, and mind you, this whole lesson is going to be a bit theoretical, so please bear with me. Alright, so the functions of lipids. Lipids are storage compounds. Triglycerides, they serve as reserve energy of the body. Okay, pretty much a very clear fact. We also had studied this in the previous lesson in which I had explained the structure of lipids. These are important components of cell membrane structures in eukaryotic cells. Lipids, they regulate membrane permeability as well, and they serve as a source for fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K. Now, vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. That means they are stored in form of fatty molecules. They act as electrical insulators to net fibers. With a myelin sheet, it contains lipids. Lipids are components of some enzyme systems as well. Now there's this lipid called cholesterol, which maintains the fluidity of membranes by interacting with lipid complexes, and you can also observe cholesterol in the lipid bilayer model of the cell membrane. Cholesterol is the precursor of bile acids, vitamin D, and some steroids. Essential fatty acids like linoleic and linolenic acids are precursors in many different types of ECOSANOIDS, including prostaglandins, thromboxanes, and these play an important role in pain, fever, inflammation, and blood clotting. Some lipids, such as prostaglandins and steroid hormones, they act as cellular metabolic regulators. Especially prostaglandins and steroid hormones, they are very important in pregnancy. Prostaglandins are basically secreted by the fetal body at the time of ejection of the baby, at the time of initiation of parturition. Cholesterol is found in cell membranes, blood, and bile of many organisms. They are small molecules that are insoluble in water, and they also act as signaling molecules. Layers of fat in the subcutaneous layer provides insulation and protection from cold. Body temperature maintenance is also done by brown fat. Now, I would like you to know that fat, when it is absorbed by the body, the byproducts contain glycerol. Now, this glycerol goes to the adipose tissue of humans and it gets accumulated there. And this adipose tissue, because it contains a lot of fat, it provides thermal insulation to the body. Polyunsaturated phospholipids are important constituents of phospholipids, and they provide fluidity and flexibility to the cell membranes. Lipoproteins. They are complexes of lipids and proteins, and they occur in blood as plasma lipoprotein. They enable transport of lipids in aqueous environment, and their transport throughout the body. So these are all the functions of lipids, and you can note them down and write a few. A lot of them are not important in the examination, but of course it depends on the marking scheme, the number that the examiner is going to offer. Okay, for the next topic, we've got functions of carbohydrates. Carbohydrate functions as biofuel. We have done two cycles, the glycolysis and the Krebs cycle, and what did they end up producing? The ATP, which is the energy currency. Carbohydrate functions as an energy source of the body and acts as biofuel. Stepwise details for the process of production of energy are discussed below. Polysaccharides such as starch and glycogen, they are first hydrolyzed by enzymes to glucose. Glucose is then transported from one cell to the another by blood in case of animals and cell sap in case of plants. Glucose is then oxidized to produce carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released in this process, which is used for the functioning of the cell. Alright, carbohydrates, they also function as storage food, which is one of the most important points of carbohydrates. We know starch, we know all those types of things, right? Different forms of carbohydrate is stored in living organism as storage food. Polysaccharide starch acts as storage food for plants. Glycogen stored in liver and muscles act as storage food for animals. We've got insulin. I'm sorry that it's it's spelled incorrect. It is the storage food of dahlias, onion, and garlic, and thus carbohydrate performs the function of storing food. Carbohydrate functions as framework of the body. Different carbohydrates, especially polysaccharides, they act as framework in the living organism. Cellulose forms the cell walls of the plant cells, along with hemicellulose and pectin, and that is kind of the main differentiating point of an animal cell and a plant cell, that the plant cell contains cellulose. Chitin forms cell wall of fungal cell and exoskeleton of arthropods. Peptidoglycan forms cell wall of bacteria and cyanobacteria. These carbohydrates, they function as contributing material to the cellular structures. Carbohydrates, they also function as anticoagulants. What are anticoagulants? Substances that inhibit coagulation, right? Heparin is a polysaccharide which acts as an anticoagulant and prevents intravascular clotting. See, when the blood is present in our blood vessels, when there is no cut, nothing, heparin is something that prevents the blood from clotting. Carbohydrates function as antigens. Many antigens are glycoproteins which contain oligosaccharide. You may know an oligosaccharide is condensation products of up to 20 monosaccharides, and they give immunological properties to the blood. Carbohydrates also function as hormones. Many hormones, such as the FSH, which is the follicle stimulating hormone and takes part in ovulation in females, and LH, luteinizing hormone, are glycoproteins, and they help in reproductive processes. Carbohydrates also provide raw material for industry. Carbohydrates are an important component of many industries such as textile, paper, lacquers, and breweries. So all these functions are some really general functions of lipids and carbohydrates. I hope you understood all of that, and I'm really sorry I couldn't include a lot of diagrams in this because there was honestly no need of them. I will definitely recommend all of you to check out my other tutorials. Thank you for watching.